I'd like to welcome our guest, David Wagstaff, the Executive Director of Just Europe, to this show. Thank you so much for speaking with us, David.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thanks for the invite. Good to be here.
No worries. So for people who aren't familiar with the Just brand and the Just Egg product, could you tell us a little bit more about it in your own words?
Yes, sure. I mean, I'll try and it's a fairly sort of detailed story, but basically Just was really founded to help build a world where everybody eats well. And our founders, strangely, both called Josh, had a vision and a mission where, you know, we could help develop products from plants that replace natural animal proteins. And I guess to do that, we sort of brought together a team of sort of top class scientists and researchers that created a sort of a one-of-a-kind discovery platform to mine the plant kingdom and come up and literally mine the plant kingdom and come up with, you know, sources of protein from legumes that can mimic animal protein, and in this case, particularly egg. And I think to get there, you don't underestimate the complexity. We work with Michelin star chefs to ultimately help create the end product. So it's a very complex, involved process, and it took us the best part of 4 years to create Just Egg.
It's very scientific, isn't it? You've actually gone through quite a lot of plants. I've done some research into it, and it seems like a very thorough approach to how you've kind of come about making this Just Egg product.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's 391,000 different types of beans out there in the world for those statisticians amongst us, I guess. And I think, you know, most plant-based businesses seem to err towards using pea protein, soy protein, you know, very well established protein sources. And I think we decided that not only through trial, but we needed something that had a different functionality. And that's really where the mung bean was identified. And mung beans are not a new product. You know, they've been around for thousands of years. But and I guess the way we extract the protein probably is, you know, not that different from pea, although it is our IP and where our science sits. And we are, you know, Abigail, we are a food tech company. You know, essentially, our IP sits very much in that discovery platform.
Of course, and the company has quite a long history, doesn't it? So, like, there's lots of new brands popping up, especially in Europe at the moment. But it's been around for a long time, like formerly Hampton Creek, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, Josh started the business as Hampton Creek, and our original products were egg-free mayo and cookie dough, which is obviously big in the US. And I think that's where life started for us about 8 years ago. But obviously very quickly, you know, recognized an opportunity for egg analogs. You know, most companies in the plant-based world are chasing meat analogs. You know,
they are.
Not many companies, and if you look at most stats, you know, one of the fastest growth areas is egg analogs, but there's very few products out there that really deliver.
Very little innovation as well.
Indeed, and I think we're all about taste, functionality, you know, ease of use, and I think we're really nailing that, to be fair.
I agree. I certainly agree. I mean, cookie dough is a delicious product, but it won't necessarily change the world when it comes to eating protein. So, obviously you started out in the US market and now you're turning your attention to elsewhere. So what attracted you to the European market in particular?
Well, I think we see, you know, a number of fundamental markets. You know, we launched in North America, clearly the homeland, and we're you know, killing it in the States. We're in over 10,000 stores. We've surpassed the 50 million egg equivalent of sales.
That's
you know, the
amazing.
product's doing really well. There's an evolution into China, clearly, with the whole protein piece, and also the challenges in China, I think, are leading it to be a big opportunity for us. Europe, obviously, within its sheer scale, represents a massive opportunity for us. You know, there's 28 different markets, and there's a huge demand for what started life as vegan products, of course, and there's now becoming a more broadly termed, you know, flexitarian, plant-based type diet. And it's interesting how much demand we're finding from the European community. And I think it's going to be our second biggest market opportunity outside of North America.
It is a huge market, and I agree. Lots of people who are dabbling their toes into these products and just integrating them into their diet and lifestyle and seeking healthier, more environmentally friendly options. That's fantastic. So we are very excited to have you at our show and to be one of our sponsors. So why did you choose Plant-Based World to bring your product to the European market?
Well, I think timing was key. We're all about launching in early 2021, and we can maybe talk about some of those challenges. But I think the plant-based show coming up is a great springboard for us, to really highlight just as having landed. We're here, and I think the timing, even the new timing in many ways actually suits us even better, because I think we'll be finalising and we'll be in market potentially. We'll really be there to establish ourselves and talk to people on a yes, you can have it now platform, rather than you've got to wait for 12 months, really.
There's nothing more frustrating as a consumer when you see a product and you so desperately want to get your hands on it and then it's not available anywhere. So I think that's a really good approach to have. You mentioned there some challenges that you faced, and I just wanted to kind of cover briefly for anybody who's not aware. You fought some pretty strong resistance from some lobbying boards under the Just and the Hampton Creek brand in the past. And obviously those were quite a few years ago and things have changed significantly in the market now. But do you feel like these industries are coming around to the plant-based boom, or do you feel like you're still fighting a lot of resistance there in terms of labeling?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think in the early days, and often people go to this, in the early days as Hampton Creek, when the team launched the eggless mayo product, if you want, people were very it was very badly misunderstood in terms of what our goal was. And I think the animal protein industry naturally rebelled, certainly in the States. And you have to understand, and you probably don't know this, but I've worked in the egg industry in my past. And the egg industry is quite a very protective organization, certainly in the United States. And so they got very concerned, and they started sort of banging the drum. And I think that they very quickly realized that, we weren't necessarily a threat on mayonnaise, I don't think. And then it obviously all calmed down, and we've since launched Just Egg. What we're seeing now, though, is, and I don't know how familiar you are with our model, but we tend to work with downstream partners to manufacture our product for us. So we're all about, as I said earlier, protein discovery, recipe development, brand creation. And then we work with people who have all the capital equipment that will manufacture the product for us. I'm telling you this because those people who are manufacturing the product for us are actually egg companies or dairy companies.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that is a really shift in attitude.
So there's a huge shift. And I think, lots of animal protein businesses now, have alternative protein divisions because they've recognized the growth in plant-based cheese, plant-based egg, plant-based meat, obviously with Beyond and Impossible. And two of our partners in Europe, we've got Eurovo, who are the largest egg products company in Europe, providing liquid egg products and powdered egg. And another one of our partners, PHW Group, the Wiesenhof Group, are one of the largest suppliers of animal protein into the McDonald's, KFCs and retail market.
Wow.
And both of those guys, are going to be working with us on Just Egg, and they're excited to do so. So I think people are seeing it as they recognize the shift and the opportunity to reach a new consumer.
I agree. I have noticed that as well, being in this industry for the past 6 or 7 years. A lot of businesses are actually embracing it and diversifying their portfolio. So instead of seeing it as competition, they're seeing it as a new opportunity to actually get involved, which I welcome as a consumer and as somebody who works in the industry. I think, the more innovation, the better. That's fantastic. Are there any other challenges that you've been facing entering the European market?
Yes, I mean, and I think not dissimilar to what people are reading about CBD and insect protein and so on. I mean, unfortunately, the European Union is a fairly bureaucratic organisation in terms of getting new food products approved. And I think this whole plant-based segment has taken them a bit by surprise. So they have a bucket called the novel foods section. And most new products now seem to find themselves into the novel food bracket, as we have on Just Egg. What does that mean? It means a lot of paperwork. It means over a year's worth of application. So it slows down your launch process, basically.
Of course, yeah.
That's what it means. And it's not really about food safety, because most plant-based products are fairly benign. And our product's pasteurized. So it's frustrating, but we're going through the process, we're respecting it, and therefore that's why we're not launching until early 2021, because we have such a pent-up demand today. People, and I had a call with a major UK retailer yesterday, and we have regular 6 weekly calls because they want our product as soon as it's available. So it's very frustrating.
I've tried the product myself, and I can't wait to be able to go to a store and be able to pick it up and purchase it regularly. That would be just revolutionary for plant-based.
So you've tried the liquid, have you?
I have, yeah. I've tried the liquid and I've tried the folded egg.
Oh, okay. So you've tried these guys then as well?
I have, yeah. They're a fantastic product. I managed to use them in so many different ways that within a week I had 4 entirely different meals. But yeah, they're so versatile and so easy. There's nothing else like it on the market. But yeah.
And I think sorry, Abigail. I think one of the most exciting things for me is when you sit in front of a customer, and we often take chefs with us because they do a far better culinary job than I would. But sitting in front of customers and they have it cooked for them and served for them in a different recipe way, to your point, and see when they eat it and how they're just blown away. They're absolutely blown away by the taste, the fact that they can't tell the difference, that it's not an egg.
That's the best testimony to your product, is people trying it, isn't it? And that's what's so exciting about you coming to our show next spring, is that people will be able to try the product then and there.
Exactly right.
Well, fantastic. So I just wanted to add as a final point, as am I, consumers in the UK are so excited to get their hands on this product. So where should they be expecting to see it first? On supermarket shelves or on restaurant menus?
Well, that's a good question, actually, because I think in the UK we'd like to hit both channels as quickly as possible. Really, I mean, I think there's 2 different types of our liquid product, which you've seen, and forgive me for the branding, but because there's not a liquid egg category established in the UK, we're doing some work on where consumers would expect to find it in store, and whether it sits in the whole plant-based segment. So we're working on that. And then the frozen folded will obviously naturally sit in the frozen category, which is booming right now because of COVID and everything else. So different products offer different opportunities. We'll definitely be in major retail. We'll definitely be in some great on-trend restaurants, and maybe even some big London hotels that have already expressed an interest as well, really.
Oh, brilliant.
And not least, there's a very well-known health store in the UK with lots of stores, who also wants to stock the product. So I think you'll see it in multiple different types of outlets.
That's fantastic news for people watching. Well, thank you so much for your time, David. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you at the show.
That's great. Thanks for your time. Good to talk to you. Okay, take care.